Okay, in this video, let's talk about one of the worst problems you can have in the golf swing, and that's a sway to the right or towards your back foot in the backswing. And when you sway your hips to the right, it creates a host of problems coming down, poor contact, topping the ball, all kinds of things. So let's talk about how to fix that sway in your backswing. Okay, so to get a handle on what is a sway, we really have to come up with an idea of why it's bad to sway in the first place. In golf, we're looking for a rotation in the backswing with a slight pressure change in your feet versus a sway where you're loading or shifting a lot of weight to your back foot. Perhaps you're sliding your entire body over, like in baseball, or you could just simply push your hips this way and your upper body stays over to the left and you tip this way in your reverse pivot. Neither one of those are ideal for golf because it changes the low point of the swing and really compromises your solid contact coming into the ball. So to get rid of this sway, let's start out with a great setup position, which will help you right off the bat. So if we look here, hitting a 6-iron here, ball position just forward of center, weight 50-50 left and right, and I'll have a very slight tilt of my spine to the right. And that slight tilt will help me turn properly in the backswing. If you happen to set up and you're already favoring your front side, your spine is leaning left, your shoulders are a little bit open, that's already putting you in a position where your hips are going to move easily to your right or back behind the ball. So first off, get your legs even, get your hips even with a slight tilt to the right, back behind the ball at address. From there, you can make a correct pivot where you're simply turning and increasing pressure in the right foot as you go back. Now, a very easy thing to do to learn the correct pivot motion is just stand relaxed with your arms at your sides and turn to your right. Let your head turn first, then your shoulders, and then your stomach, and then your hips, and simply turn in a circle directly around. And you'll see that that turning motion will be very similar to how I wind up properly in the golf swing. A lot of my students are very afraid to move their head at all in the golf swing. They're fixated on the ball. They've heard to look down and stare at the ball the entire time. So the head is so fixated on the ball, the head is here, and they're trying to get a backswing where there's movement. But because the head is so focused down here, they really can't move past about this point here without creating a sway, a slide, or reverse pivot like here. So let that head turn a little bit to your right. Let it turn. Let your entire body rotate back. And that's going to look something like that here. Okay, you've got the backswing figured out. You've wound up there nicely. Those hips are turning underneath you. You're letting your head move a little bit or rotate slightly. And you're in a great position at the top. And from here, it's very easy then to shift your weight back to your left side. Let the club get down into a good impact position here, compress the ball, and move your weight up onto your front foot for solid ball striking. And that's easy to do when you get into this great position at the top. However, if you're in some reverse position here where your hips slide this way, and you're now out of the box, pushing your hips way to the right, what you're going to see is the club is going to start to come down over the top, and that's going to then make you come back to your right foot or back behind the ball, and then that hits up on the ball or tops it coming through. Your weight stays on your back foot, and you're wondering why you can't shift your weight. There's no way if you're going to be here at the top of your swing, you're going to just come straight over and chop straight down. Instead, you're going to start coming over, then move back, and end up on your back foot. That can work with a driver now and then. The ball's on a tall tee with a driver. You can stay behind it, hit up on a drive, and hit some decent shots every now and then. If you're a swayer, you might hit a different direction, but you can get solid shots with a driver. However, with an iron or hitting a fairway wood off the ground, you'll always be stuck compromising, coming back this way, low point behind the ball, hitting up over it, topping it, hitting a lot of shots on the ground. So clearly you know this is one of your faults. You found this video and you're working on your sway. First, get into a mirror and watch yourself at address. Get your address position figured out. And then start watching yourself in that video and watch a rotation movement where you're going this way. Let the hips turn in a circle. Let the shoulders turn. Free up your head to swivel slightly coming back. And teach yourself how to rotate in a circle this way. From there, very easy to shift and come through. Now I'm going to change the camera angle here in a second to show you what's critical, that when you start rotating back, so you don't get the club into a compromised position on the backswing. Okay, so forgive the light. It's a little dark from this angle, but you'll be able to see clearly where the club needs to go when you're making this good backswing. Now, when you're swaying and doing the wrong backswing, it's very easy for players to sometimes pick the club up or swing it too vertically coming up as they sway to the right, and then have that chopping motion coming over the top. But once that is now being fixed, you've got a good setup position here. Your setup's good, and you're trying to turn in a circle on your backswing. It is now very easy, unfortunately, to get the club working too low and too around, because in your effort to turn your shoulders and hips in a circle, it's very easy to get this club going too much around yourself and too low in the backswing, which will just create more problems on the downswing. So even though you are turning in a circle, make sure you work on the timing of getting the club to work straight back and up. As your hips are turning back and as your shoulders are turning, you have to compensate by bringing the arms up at the same rate to keep the club on plane and get into a good position here. So as you turn, get the arms working straight back, the club working straight back, hinge it up on a good plane, keep turning, and you'll end up in a very good position at the top. But like I said, you sometimes have to watch yourself in a mirror or get your phone out and video it. Make sure your setup is good. So from the front view, you're watching that rotation and turn. And from the back view, you're seeing that club go back on a good plane, working itself back here on line and into a good position here. From there, like we said, very easy to shift the weight, drop it on plane here, move forward and compress those irons, get a down strike on those fairway woods and hybrids, full follow through up onto your left foot, and that's going to give you the height, backspin, distance, and carry that you're looking for from those shots off the ground. Okay, well, I hope that's helped you work on your sway and get rid of that sway. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.